I'm very excited to try again with baby number 2. Like, you literally just pushed a human being out of a tiny hole and we would both just cry. I'm still literally horrible at this, but I'm here to tell you this so that you don't make the same mistake and having like poop all the way up their back. Hey, thanks for being here. Welcome to 5 things I wish I did differently with a newborn. Number 1, I wish I relaxed more and set lower expectations for myself and my baby. In the first 3 months of their life, they really don't need to do that much, but for some reason I thought that I had to read him books and make sure I was doing like ample amounts of tummy time. But realistically, you can do tummy time with them just laying on your chest, and he didn't need to read books because he didn't really know what was going on, first of all, and second of all, just me talking to him or him just looking around at his surroundings, all of that was just enough to stimulate him when he's only like a few months old. I just wish that I like sat down and relaxed more and just stressed less and just enjoyed those moments, because a few months later, you know, babies get to that stage where they know when you're standing up versus sitting down and they want you to stand up and hold them. But in those sweet newborn phases, they just want to sit and cuddle with you, and I wish I just like sat back and relaxed and soaked all of that in. And so it's perfectly okay for you and your child to just sit and relax and just stare at each other. So all together, just soak it in and relax. Have no expectations. Number 2, I wish I bought less newborn outfits and more zip-up onesies. I actually had a lot of fun dressing him in all these cute little outfits, but it's really unrealistic because for the amount of times that they're spitting up and having like poop all the way up their back and you have to change their outfit, it just was a lot of work to like take off a whole thing over their head and pants and socks. I wish that I would have just had newborn onesies that they can zip up, zip down, throw in the laundry, quick and easy, done. You're so tired and there's much needed relaxing time to be done, and they look cute regardless. And I said specifically zip up onesies because, well, it's pretty much self-explanatory. Zipping something up is a lot easier than doing up a bunch of tiny little buttons. Also, I put him in shoes probably once or twice so far, and he's pretty much almost 6 months old. He's already grown out of a pair of his shoes, so they really don't need shoes. Number 3, I wish I accepted or asked for more help. I'm still literally horrible at this, but at least I'm aware of it, and I'm pretty self-sufficient and independent when it comes to getting things done because I have a specific way I like to do things, and I guess I have a little bit of pride and I don't want to feel like I'm weak or I don't want to bother anyone by asking for their help, and so I just tend to do things on my own. But when you just have a baby, there are so many people that are willing to help, and I really just wish that I accepted that more. Like, you literally just pushed a human being out of a tiny hole. You don't need to be doing anything. You need to sit and relax and enjoy. So if somebody offers you help, just take it. You're not going to regret taking someone's help. You're only going to regret not taking help. But I am speaking to the choir because I literally did the same thing. I didn't want to seem weak by asking for help, but sometimes it actually takes a stronger person to ask for the help than to be strong and do it by yourself. I'm really grateful for the help that I did have, but there were some hard days that I wish I would have reached out and asked somebody for something that I needed, but I guess I was just a little too proud. I don't know. I'm working on it, but I'm just really awkward about receiving help. But I'm here to tell you this so that you don't make the same mistake. Number 4, I wish I had been more open to alternative feeding methods. I really struggled to get Zion to latch properly in the beginning, but I was very bound and bent on breastfeeding solely, so I spent a lot of time fighting to keep him on the boob, and we would both just cry. My nips were like cracked and bleeding, and he was upset because he wasn't eating enough, but he couldn't latch properly, and so it was just kind of a mess. And a lot of our problems probably could have been solved if I had just realized that it's okay to feed him a bottle of formula if that's what he really needed, because in the end, a fed baby is best. I know breast milk is really good for them, but there are certain circumstances where it's okay to take a step back and do something a little bit different if that's what you need to do. Also, because breastfeeding was pretty tough on me, when I finally had a break and I didn't have him on the boob, I did not want to pump because I literally needed a break from anything that was on me, which meant that I wasn't pumping regularly enough and my supply really dwindled, which made it a lot more difficult to feed him because my supply wasn't high enough for the demand that he wanted. Overall, it wasn't the best experience, but I'm very excited to try again with baby number 2 whenever that happens eventually. Number 5, I wish I had set aside alone time for myself. I literally didn't do anything away from Zion until he was, I think, pretty much 5 months old. So literally 24 hours a day for 5 whole months. The only time I was pretty much away from him was when I was in the shower or in the bathtub. I trust my husband, he's a great dad, but we just do some things a little bit differently, and I had trouble letting go of that control of doing it my way, and I didn't give him the chance to prove himself and let him do what he needed to do and take the reins in order to give myself the space that I needed to feel like myself again. Being active and working out makes me feel like me, but I could not for the life of me figure out how to integrate that into my schedule with a newborn until pretty much just a few weeks ago. I would have been in a way better place if I allowed myself the space to have that alone time to work out a little bit earlier rather than waiting 5 months to get started, because I'm now just kind of starting to feel a little bit more like myself, although I do have a long way to go. And honestly, I'm a better mom when I allow myself the space to be alone and do something that I enjoy for myself, because it allows my patience and energy meters to just fill back up so that when I come back to Zion, I have so much more to give him than when I spend all day 24 hours a day with him, and my patience and energy slowly dwindles, and it's just really hard to be all there when I feel like I can't take a deep breath. Altogether, when you give yourself that time and space to just take a breath and be by yourself, you end up being a much better mom for it, and it's a win-win situation. Let's all take a deep breath together, shall we? Do you feel better? Because I do. Those are the 5 things that I wish I did a little bit differently with a newborn, but obviously with your first baby, you don't really know what you're getting yourself into. And every baby is different, and so each situation is different and everybody reacts differently, but these are some things that I wish I did a little bit differently, and maybe this can help you prepare for what to do or what not to do. And that's all I have for you today. So I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Be blessed and have a great day. Bye. Can you guys literally play anywhere else? I don't know what I want. 5 things I wish I did differently with them.